Hello children, I hope you're taking good care of yourself. So let's get started with our next lesson of UAE SST for grade 8, Traditional African Art. So children, here we have the learning objectives to explore the traditional African art, to discover how traditional African art has an effect, has an impact on the culture. The UAE link. UAE is well known for its different art forms like the arabesque, handicrafts, pottery, and so on. I have put up these three pictures which belongs to UAE art forms. Then the CC link. It is linked with history as well as with art, as the topic deals with the traditional African art of the past and its various forms. Now, what exactly was this traditional African art? Let us see. Traditional African art combines the stone, wood, clay, iron, brass, gold, and other materials. So it is not exclusively made up of one material, but of number of materials. The items were used for different purposes in each culture that created them. So the items were obviously like how we have the mask, then the sculptures, then different types of statues, and so on. Examples: masks, statues, paintings, and fabric. African stone art is the earliest form of traditional African art, which you can see over here is the well-known stone art, and it is a carving of two giraffes found in the Bus Niger, which dates back to 6500 BCE. Traditional wooden art. Wood was used to make expensive masks, figures, doors, and ornaments. In West Africa, for example, many ethnic groups created wood carvings that were used in ceremonies. The carvings were used to represent the animals, the loved ones, and important cultural figures. So it could be the king, some important leaders, and so on. Some cultures, such as Dan of present day Ivory Coast, created ceremonial masks made out of solid wood and decorated that mask, which was made up of wood, with gold, copper, silver, and cowrie shells. You can see the pics over here, which will give you an idea how they decorated their wooden masks. So it is found even today. The culture is being passed down from centuries together, and they still make masks which are used for different ceremonies. Most of the time, masks were worn by special people in the society, like the king and other important people in the society. That means the commoners did not wear the mask. Most of the time, it was worn by these important figures. So here we have the other art forms besides the mask and the new concept of end-off. In addition to masks, traditional African wooden art included the sculptures, the plaques, and even decorative doors. During the 17th through the 19th centuries, the ancient Kuba kingdom was well known for creating artwork and decorations. Around 1700 CE, the Kuba king introduced a new type of wooden sculpture, the one which you can see in the picture. So this was called as Endorf, which was made up of wood with lots of carvings that represented the king and the elements of his personality. So you can make out the personality of the king who had devised or introduced this Endorf. Later, the kings made their own end-offs to carry on their legacy. Now, the traditional metallic art, what we have seen till now was the wooden work on masks and sculptures. So they were not only confined to wood, but they carried forward their art in metallic form. Another type of art used materials such as gold, copper, iron, and other metals. So they are all the metals which they used to use it for making their art forms. The Nok civilization was the first to experiment with and eventually began the African Iron Age around 1500 BC. They started the process by melting, and how did they do this job? They separated the metal from the rocks. You find the metals in the rocks, and they were good at this by separating the metal from the rocks by this process of smelting. Often ancient African mixed metals were used to create masks or ornaments for decorative purposes. Examples of these impressive masks is of Igbo Ukuwu civilization in the present-day Nigeria and Benin. They were skilled iron smelters. That means they could easily separate the metal from the rock. So they were good in iron smelting. Who created iconic art forms like the mask, jewelry, statues, and figures. Their art were highly valued and perfected the use of bronze in their art. So they were not only using iron, but they were also using the metal bronze. Now we have the kingdom of Benin and the Yoruba civilization. What were the artwork done by these people? So the bronze artwork was used throughout the kingdom of Benin in the 16th and 17th centuries. Artists of Benin created very detailed representations of their culture through the use of advanced bronze and copper smelting. I think you know the meaning of smelting. So they could easily separate the rock and the bronze, the rock and the copper, and could bring out a very beautiful, detailed representation of their culture through different art forms. The artwork created during the rise of this kingdom of Benin is among the most detailed and impressive representations of the ancient African culture on this continent. The Yoruba civilization in present-day Nigeria and Benin took metal smelting art to a higher level. Like the Igbo, Ukuwu, and the Nok, the Ife also used metal to represent various aspects of their culture, society, and government. That means it gave it threw a light on their culture, on their society and government. So people could know the past culture, society, and government through these various metallic art forms by the Yoruba civilization. Ife bronze art has detail that is shown in the facial features of the subjects. Subjects means it could be a person, and the facial expressions are so much in detail that one could make out the emotions of that person, the feelings of that person. So this Ife bronze art had taken the art form of Africa to another level. Ancient African shows scenes of every day of the people, everyday life of the people of that time, and is an important source of historical information. So, with the help of these different art forms, the historians can guess the life of the people in those days. Now here comes the activities. It is activity 1, which you have it from your textbook. You can go through the questions from the textbook and you can see the answers over here. Activity 2. Here also you have got 2 questions, simple questions put up. These are the factual questions. You can go through the answer. Activity 3. Please go. Activity 4 is an application based question. This is what I could understand out of the lesson. You can Google and get some more information, children. The plenary. In the plenary, a few questions have been put up for you to go through and learn it. It makes learning easy of the lesson. So if you know these questions well, that means you have understood the lesson well. Come to the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching my video. And if you really liked my video, then please like and share. And don't forget to press the bell icon. If you haven't subscribed, then please do subscribe to my channel so that I get motivated to make some new beneficial videos for you. So see you next time with my some new videos from lesson 4. Till then, take care. Bye bye.